The online racing network proudly presents the NRMC Nestle Rolo 110 at the Phoenix International Raceway from Avondale, Arizona. Tonight, the competitors of NRMC will bring the heat of racing to the heat of the Arizona desert for 110 laps around this mile-long speedway. And with this race brings the first ever ORN broadcast, brought to you by the way of Twitch TV. Hello everybody, I'm Jacob Hitz, along with my partner Jimmy Powell, here with you from Phoenix International Raceway. ORN plans to be with you from now until the end of May at Slinger Speedway to cover this championship half of the NRMC race schedule. We're here at Phoenix, 4 drivers looking and ready to take on the day, and of course, as soon as we go onto the track to the live coverage, we've got cars in the wall. Jimmy, how do you think today's going to look from a fan perspective here tonight?
Well, like a lot of these races, we'll see mainly a calm first half of the race. You know, the usual pit stops. But I think once these guys get enough fuel packed into the car and good enough tires to last them the run, we're going to see a lot of good action on the track. We've seen in practice where people have been able to run side by side for multiple laps on end, produce really good battles, and also bump and runs might be a possibility given the people who are out on track. I don't think that there's going to be a network issue for that, so maybe we can see that for the end. Who knows? But as it stands right now, from what we've seen from practice and what we're seeing right now on the racetrack, it should be a pretty good race.
All right, well, it looks like we're moving on to race, yes. So we're going to go head out and retire really quick to move this process along a little bit faster. So the qualifying happened just moments ago before happy hour started. And once the field gets the command to fire the engines, we will run down through the top 4, the only 4 here on the track this weekend. Hopefully we'll see more at the big race next week at Talladega.
One of the biggest things about this is the absence of Huang Do. He's the second in the point standings, and he was 560 points deficit going into this race. But he maybe not decided, but is not going to be racing here tonight, which will put him at a disadvantage of at least 300 points.
And
so
the cars come to life. Of course, this is the second or third week in a row that Huang has not shown up to an NRMC event, really killing him in the points. So here is the starting lineup. On the front row, we've got the Pulsator drive-through, and on his outside, Tyler Mallon making his first NRMC career start. Then in third place, we've got the All-Star race winner, Jamie Hunter, in the 7, and in the 97, Drew Hutchinson. Hutchinson was over a second slower than the rest of the field. Drive-throughs qualifying time was under the 28-second bracket as they come through the dogleg. The only time that has gone under 28 seconds so far here this weekend. A little bit of bumping and banging tempers already. Good grief, guys. Keep it together. All right.
Doesn't look like it's creating any damage, though. Let's just hope that
it stays that way. So we've got, I believe, 110 laps on the board for this race. They will have to make a pit stop. So this race is going to be entertaining to watch, a race of attrition, and hopefully everybody makes it to the checkered flag on the lead lap. Here comes the field to start, and the green flag is up. We're underway at Phoenix. Drive-through will lead the opening lap here at Phoenix. Side by side with Mallon down through the dog leg. They all make it through. They're off to turn 1 again. And it looks like it's a 3-car breakaway, 4-car breakaway. Everybody single file, about equally spread apart.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how Tyler was able to stay on drive-throughs outside.
Oh, here's a battle for second. Jamie Hunter looking underneath Tyler Mallon. This is for second off of turn 4. Mallon almost got the wall. And they head back for turn number 1, and Hunter gets a little sideways. He's known to do that, but he's been able to keep a good handle on the car so far.
And that's another thing. It seems like the setup, because these are fixed setup races, so they're all running the same setup. Seems it's a bit loose for these guys on the early runs. So we will probably see them try to be a little more conservative, even more conservative than they would be on the first couple of laps. That's probably why Tyler backed off there. It seemed like he had the power to stay on drive-throughs outside, but just wanted to make sure everything would be clean for the first part of the race.
Oh, well,
But here
drive-through
he
select the
comes.
hill, and here comes Malin looking to the inside for the lead through the dog leg, side by side, and they get really close to each other, headed for turn 3. He's got to run to the apron.
Now, as far as I know, this is Tyler's first stint in the
Oh,
NRMC.
man, he got really close to the door of drive-through. Drive-through gets the better run off the corner, and he gets the lead for now.
Goes down to turn 1. Here comes Tyler back again.
Looks to the outside. He might cut back to the inside as they come
I
through
don't
the
like where that's
dog
going.
leg. Almost got into him. They'll stay 1 and 2 single file. Tyler had to get hard on the brakes to avoid running over drive-through. Will be 5 laps complete, and drive-throughs let him all so far.
Yeah, I think that this is a little bit too much aggressive driving for the beginning part of this race, but it seems to be everybody's trying to mind their manners here. Tyler just needs to ease up a little bit. He almost created a situation in the dog leg last time around, but they were able to get through pretty cleanly.
Turn 1 drive-through screwed up. Here comes Malin to the outside.
Yeah, I spoke too soon
Drive-through
on that
hangs
front.
onto the car. Malin had to check up to avoid running drive-through over, so drive-through hangs onto the top spot for now. Drive-through
try it
runs
again.
a little wide. Malin got loose, trying to keep off of the 77. Up by the wall.
I think the 0A just has a faster car in general. He's just able to get through these corners a little bit better than drive-through is.
He's just struggling to get by the 77. And the 97 of Drew Hutchinson, he's already 6+ seconds behind the battle for the lead.
Well, looking at a driver's perspective, when you're faced with a car in front of you that's slower than you and you can't get by them, that's going to build up frustration. And we've seen on NR2003 many times where people have lost their tempers over stuff like that.
But you also have to keep in mind that it's currently lap 8 of 110. There's still a lot more to come here at Phoenix. We know that for a fact. And we're closing in on 100 laps to go here in the desert. Drive-through runs the high side, now shuts the door on the low line, impeding Tyler's progress off of 2.
They're really using up that rumble strip there on the inside, aren't they?
Yeah, it's it's getting its use for today, that is for sure. Next weekend, Friday night, same time, we'll be in Talladega. At Talladega for race 13 of 16. I will not be in the booth. I will be out on the racetrack. And it will be, as far as we know, Jimmy Powell, who's joining me this weekend, and Trace Ryder joining us in the booth next weekend at Talladega. As I turn into Michael Waltrip and head out onto the racetrack for a shot at finally winning in our 2003 race.
So hopefully all you guys back at home will hopefully our own Jacob Pitts here.
10 laps complete here at Phoenix in the early going. Drive-through out in front. Tyler Malin trying to chase him. They've separated the gap almost 2.5 seconds, almost 3 seconds to Jamie Hunter in third, and already 20+ seconds to D-Ray, who stopped on the apron in turn 3 and 4, and there's no caution.
Not yet, at least, unless they're racing back.
This car was stopped on the apron. The caution flag has not come out.
Nope,
So
we stay green.
put the 97 at least 1 lap down. At least he didn't impede anybody's progress like last week at Salem.
He's back underway. He's got some back-end damage there.
Drive-through almost got the wall, headed into turn number 3. He got super close to it. I saw the skid marks up by the wall and was wondering who it came from. I looked on the apron, and all of a sudden there was this 97 car there. So here they come back through turn number 1, drive-through, opening that gap just a little bit over Tyler Malin.
Yeah, I think Tyler was starting to realize that it was getting a little bit ridiculous, so maybe he was told off. Who knows? Either one of the two, but he's not really. He's getting close to him, but I don't know. Maybe tire wear is coming into effect already. We've seen more people in in practice were having tire wear issues when they were doing their aggressive driving stints. So
And Drive-Thru
could
has
be a
already
play.
won 2 races this NMRC season, including the race at Spa, which was over by lap 5. That was supposed to be a 30-lap event. I was there for that. That was that was pretty much a disaster. However, Drive-Thru was the last one running, so he won the race, and it was called after lap 5. So yeah.
Well, Drive-Thru is in pretty much the best seat he can be in for this championship battle, especially after Huang not being here. So
Yeah, at this point, he can skip the rest of the season and still run away with the NMRC title.
maybe not. I think it depends on many factors. But right now, if Drive-Thru stays where he's at and keeps on being consistent like he is, and even get the win here, he could definitely get away with this championship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I seen it sideways. There's some smoke here.
And there was some
In turn
smoke. I
2.
think it might have come from the 97.
Yeah, it seems like there's more damage to the back. Yeah,
that.
there's more damage to the back end of his car.
So 2 single car spins, both by the same car. It's the 97 of Drew Hutchinson. There has not been a caution yet, as we're now 16 laps in the books here at Phoenix.
These guys are keeping it right on that yellow line. That was a perfect 1 and 2 for both of those guys.
Yeah, I think these guys just focused on getting into a rhythm. Just getting these cars clean, getting them to halfway, getting them in fuel mode as Tyler gets really sideways. Really drove it in hard right to the bumper of Drive-Thru.
Tracking it through turn 3.
And they're closing in on Hutchinson to put him a second lap down. He's just a couple seconds away from the bumper of Drive-Thru. Drive-Thru gets sideways off the corner. Here comes Malin to the outside off turn 2.
Oh, man, that was close.
Oh! I thought he
Was that
was
a
going to
bump?
hit him. I think he
think that was
just
a bump.
missed it, but Netcode will have to decide that fate. Tyler
think
really got on the brakes to avoid from hitting him. They keep it off the wall. Drive-Thru stays out in front, and he's really being a jitterbug out front now. I don't like this.
Yeah. That'll be a concern. It's not even that. It's just, I think Tyler needs to just back off a little bit. Just let the race come to him.
And Jamie Hunter has pitted and has fallen a lap down, as have the 97 of Drew Hutchinson. They both have come down on the pit road.
That's a
Their
two-car
first stops
battle.
of the day. So 19 laps complete, and it's only the top 2 that are on the lead lap, and they're fighting for the win. They're within half a second of each other. And there's Hunter coming off pit road.
Yep. Don't want to make this an early day here. Tyler's now starting to ease off a little bit.
Oh, we almost got the wall coming off of turn 4. I really had to turn the wheel hard to the left.
It seems like the exits of these corners is pretty treacherous for some of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for Tyler, since he joined in a bit late on the practice, so he wasn't able to get too much experience with the setup, and that's why practice time is valuable to all drivers, even if it's a super speedway like Daytona or Talladega. It's important to figure out what the setup is doing and adapt yourself to it. A lot of people try to press for setup changes and everything. But usually, it's just people not being able to drive because they aren't, used to it.
Well, his first real lap was in qualifying, and he qualified second. So, pretty impressive nonetheless.
Well, if you look at the stats from other leagues, Tyler Malin is one of the best drivers in these intermediate sort of leagues. So it's no surprise there, I would say. But Drive-Thru is also a very good racer, and seeing him out in front is no surprise
And
here.
Hutchinson in the grass through the dog leg. They're going to come up right on him, heading for turn 3. Malin goes around, no caution. Nice little drift through turn 3. Goodness. No caution. We stay green, and the lap cars impede the battle for the lead for now. Still 23 laps complete. Plenty to go.
Drive-Thru opens up a 2.5 lead.
And Hutchinson will fall 4 laps down. Jamie Hunter still 2 laps down. Jamie Hunter definitely showed some potential in practice. He was up running one of the top spots. Hutchinson's around again in turn 3.
Is that going to be a caution?
Still no caution, as here comes Tyler Mallon onto pit road.
Yeah, he definitely messed up his tires there. So we can see another car going lap down here.
Well, and that brings up the question, how long does drive-through stay out on these tires? Does he want to get short pitted? By the 08 of Mallon. Off of turn 4, drive-through will lead another lap. He'll lead the first 25 straight here at Phoenix.
And Mallon will go a lap down.
Yeah, he may even fall 2 laps down, depending on how long he stays on pit road. I think it might be okay, though.
He's off
based off of how close he was.
Now he's off pit road
to the 77. So yeah,
he's off pit road now. He'll get caught up too, though. I'm pretty sure.
Drive-through sounds a little slow here. He stays out for 1 more lap, and the waiting game continues here at Phoenix.
I don't think he's going to come in anytime soon. It's just that Tyler wore off those tires with that slide.
Yeah, well, keep in mind they will have to pit, I believe, for fuel. They cannot make it the full distance.
But I believe it will be towards the middle of this race that you'll see that come into play.
Well, that's what I would think. But with everybody pitting before lap 25, other than the leader, you got to wonder if eventually this causes drive-through to lose some ground and possibly put him in a hole late in the race strategy-wise. Just in case we do somehow get a caution, not just a single car spin without any incident.
Looks like since drive-through is assuming that he's not going to really have much competition here, he might be trying to save some fuel.
Yeah, I think right now he's just taking it easy. He may even let the 7 by, as he's got over a lap on everybody in the field. So
hey,
far.
Really, he could spend a couple of laps just clutching it, just seeing what he can save, so he can pit later on.
I think he might be going a little slower than his normal pace. However, I don't think he's on the clutch.
I'm just saying that
pretty much power behind that 77.
I'm just saying with the deficit that the 08 has in the second position, I believe that he could do that sort of strategy, make sure that maybe not that he has enough to the end. I don't think you can clutch to that much, but at least see what he can do. Oh, there's a car. Oh, wow.
Is that
Hutchinson
in the wall? Yeah. And the caution is out.
Caution is out.
Pace car is moving, and Hutchinson will retire from the event, and the caution flag has come out for a big crash on the backstretch. Jimmy, you saw at least the stopped car first. Did you see what could have happened there as we go for the replay?
He had a lot of front-end damage, I can tell you that.
Oh no. Oh,
wow.
Hutchinson. Okay, wow. That was a big one. So, he just overshot the curb of the dog leg, lost it, saved it, locked it up, and just couldn't. Hard into the inside wall. That is not safer barrier. And then he let the car roll all the way down to the bottom, staying out of the leader's way. Otherwise, that definitely would have been problems, kind of reminiscent of Salem a week ago. But everybody keeps it clean, and now drive-through is on pit road, as is Tyler Mallon. So
I don't know if this was advantageous to Mallon.
I think Mallon is still going to be 1 lap down here. However, he should get the free pass because he did pit. And he was the first car lap down. So he should get the free pass here.
Actually, he might pass him on pit road here. He is 1 lap down currently.
I'm not sure. I think
there he goes.
There he goes.
That seemed really fast.
Yeah, I think he may have forgotten where the pit road speed ended. As the field comes through pit road. So make that 3 cars left. I believe that makes it 2 on the lead lap. So we are under caution for the first time today here at Phoenix.
Well, I can tell you that you definitely got a black flag, because I don't believe 75 miles an hour is the pit speed. So,
well, and he also passed the pace car, so he would have
He's going down pit road now at 70 miles an hour. Why?
And he comes into his box. Overshot his box. And gets service again. Not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll look into it here. Hopefully we can get a little bit of clarification post-race if we don't find out before then.
Well, when he was going to serve his drive-through penalty, he was still going 70 miles an hour down pit road, and I very doubt that was the actual pit road speed.
Yeah, that isn't for sure. And the field comes through turn 3 and 4. We may see one to go this time by, if not definitely next time by. And we'll go back green flag racing. We're over a quarter of the way through the event here at Phoenix. And again, next week at this time we'll be at Talladega. Jimmy Pouch, race rider, will be with you for the call here on ORN. I will be out on the racetrack and hopefully in victory lane post-race. But we'll have to see what happens. Tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, ARL 2006. It's race number 5 on the ARCA schedule. We head to North Carolina. It's Rockingham. That will be fun. And Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Check that, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. ORL Season 2, Cup 2000. We will be at Richmond International Raceway. The last race before the All-Star break, which will happen next weekend, next Sunday, May 5th. That is going to be fun, as the track, the drivers that are eligible will all be decided between the Richmond race and the All-Star event. There will be an open, there will be a fan vote, and a whole lot more. So stick around. There is a lot more that is coming, plus that good old short track league, Knockos. That is coming May 15th. That's a Wednesday night, and that will be, right around, I think, 8, 9 o'clock. Pace car makes the hard left turn onto pit road. We'll stop the advertisements for now, and we'll get the green flag for the restart. We're back underway. 34 laps complete here at Phoenix.
I guess Malin is squared off about that those black flags. I thought that when he came down pit road again, it was a little too much, but... And I guess he's on the lead lap now. He got the free pass.
I believe those have been cleared.
Yep.
Jamie Hunter is now 1 lap down as he hits the
got
apron
a little bit loose.
and really slides around.
But he still hung on.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I would have thought that he would slow down from that. Down into turn 1. So now with Malin back on the lead lap, if Malin gets around the 7, can he get around the 77? That's the question we have right now. It's a 2-car battle still. So Malin's just got to get around that 7 now.
Malin's got to get around the 7. He's had a tough time of getting around cars. So far today, the only time we tried to see him get by the 77, he drifted it through turn 3 and then immediately came into pit road. Hunter got a little bit loose. That's going to allow that 08 to pull in a little bit, and he's going to give him the spot off the corner. Nice job by the lapper, giving him the room. So move Tyler Malin back up to 2nd on the racetrack, even though he already was 2nd, and he's closing in on that race leader.
From what I've seen with Jamie, is that he's a really good driver. He just, if he maintains where he is on track right now, waits for another caution potentially to come out, then he can get the free pass and then still be in this running with these guys. But it's those cold tires on the restarts, and that's one thing that plagues a lot of NR 2003 drivers, is that they don't take into account the cold tires on the restarts and how loose the car will be. And a lot of people, they take it into account and they just can't compensate for it. So, and usually when they take it easy on starts, they fall back because everybody else usually is a little more experienced with it. So they feel like that they're losing out on something if they don't, and they tend to overdrive it, and it causes looseness or just spinning out in general.
Well, and these two leaders up front, Drive-Thru and Malin, they're pretty well experienced when it comes to NR. They know not to push the car too fast, too quickly. And they're in multiple different leagues throughout. Some that we will cover throughout this season, some that we will not, at least for now. However, we are always looking to expand and cover different things if it is available to us, time slot wise, and willing to be done by other leagues. So 40 laps complete. Malin back within a quarter of a second of Drive-Thru for the lead.
He's there. He was able to get by the 7.
30 laps ago. They're right all over the back bumper. Just not enough to get by him so far. As we're 14 laps away this time by from the halfway bonus.
The way that I've seen Tyler drive is that he always looks out for somebody to make a mistake, and when somebody makes a mistake, he instantly capitalizes on it. Doesn't matter what point in the race it is, he'll always try to capitalize on a mistake to get another position.
Well, they both made a mistake in turn 1, and I was worried one was going to get the bumper and go around. However, they kept it off each other, and Drive-Thru was able to extend that lead. Tyler Malin won at ORL at Phoenix, I believe just 3 weeks ago. After beating Huang Do to the checkered flag after a controversial crash between the leaders and James Bowles. So we'll see what happens here if Malin can continue the Phoenix streak, or whether Drive-Thru will add his 3rd win to his already impressive season here in NMRC.
Yeah, Drive-Thru got a little bit shaky there in turns 3 and 4. I'm concerned that his internet isn't doing very well, but at least if he keeps his distance, there shouldn't be any sort of net coding issues.
And I think Tyler knows that, yeah.
Yeah. And keep in mind, these guys are all in one voice chat with each other, so they're able to communicate with each other, tell them what's going on with their cars if it's a concern for all the other drivers. So that probably was communicated by Drive-Thru to everybody else just to watch out.
Okay, well, I'm being told that Drive-Thru has 4 wins, so I wonder what point standings I was looking at was wrong. I thought, if anything, he had 3 wins. So I'm going to go in and look at the points right now and see how wrong I actually am.
I believe one of them was a non-points event.
Possibly. So. Let me find the standings here. Here we are. And sure enough, Drive-Thru has 4 wins. So, whoops.
It's the growing pains of ORN.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you don't pay attention in the league, and all of a sudden here you are. So,
the good news is that we reached a peak of 12 viewers on this stream. We have 8 right now, but just a few minutes ago, I saw 12 people in this stream.
Oh, well, the max I've seen is 7, and that's what I'm sitting at right now, so I don't know. Probably OBS problems. Anyways, 46 laps complete. Drive-Thru still out in front. Tyler Malin still second. Jamie Hunter has lost. I'm not even sure where he's at on track right now. He's 1 lap down.
He is right now
formerly 2 laps down.
Coming through the dock leg.
Okay, so he's not too far behind.
Yeah.
And the 97 of Drew Hutchinson, he crashed out in a violent crash going into turn 3, about 10 laps ago or so. So he will be credited with a 4th and last place finish, retiring early from this one. The battle for the lead still trying to heat up, as these two have been fighting basically the whole time, except for when Malin came on to pit road, then the caution came out and it bunched everybody back up together.
Tyler's running a wider racetrack right now than Drive-Thru is, and I feel like that's helping him on entry, but it's hurting him on exit. But we'll see.
He's going to need to narrow that down if he wants to get to the bumper and try and make a last lap move coming to the finish line, as we're 7 laps away from the halfway bonus.
I'm just afraid that that maybe one of these guys are pushing it a little bit too hard, and it could result in them wearing out their tires a little bit earlier than expected. Because tire wear is definitely a factor here. We saw it in practice, so they got to watch out for those gauges.
Drive-Thru ran it a little wide through turn 1. Malin tried to close the gap, but the gap has stayed about 2 car lengths or more. It's almost like they're at a super speedway track. That's how far apart they've been stuck apart.
Well, they've pretty much been like a rubber band ever since the restart. They might get a little bit far away, but they usually snap right back after a couple laps.
5 laps to the half bonus.
Although I do believe that Tyler is kind of laying back a little more than he was before. I think he has the speed. I don't know. Maybe tire wear is coming into effect. I was kind of worried if he was pushing it a little too hard, but we shall see. Because they'll still probably have to make a pit stop.
Definitely for tires, if not for fuel. Not sure what that situation looks like. Probably should have investigated that before the before this started. But oh well, nevertheless, here we are. And yes, I agree. This race is better than the ARCA race that was on earlier today. That was a snooze fest. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead still trying to heat up. Malin not really running for points, running more for wins. Drive-through just trying to run races and keep himself out in front of the championship.
Now, I don't want to worry about stuff that isn't really conducive to the race at hand. But we have 14 viewers in this.
And for once, that's what I'm seeing. So
yeah,
we're all on the same page. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead really closing in right on the back bumper.
See, that's why we don't just focus on stuff that isn't to the race at hand. I thought that would be nice to show, but
well, we also have our commentator for next week. Drive-through
Whoa!
slides up the hill.
He tried.
And Malin hangs on to second for now, but the battle is definitely heating up.
That's what I've been saying. Tyler is always looking for somebody to make a mistake.
Oh, Malin dropped it again.
Speaking of which,
saves it again. Locked it up like he did earlier. That's the second time he's drifted it through turn 3, and drive-through will pull away by a second.
I am just jinxing these guys. That opens up about a 2-second advantage for drive-through right now. Maybe
second and a half. We'll have to see how warm Malin's tires are, and if he...
oh, he's already spinning again!
He saved it again, locked him up. He's probably going to pit this time. Oh, no, he stays out. I'd like to also shout out to our announcer, Trace Ryder. He's in the chat. He'll be joining us in the booth next week, taking my spot. Well, Jimmy will take my spot, and Trace will take his spot. Yeah. And we're being told by officials that him shifting is the result of him flying around and spinning as he's come onto pit road, and drive-through continues.
He just
to dominate.
An all-star qualifying type of pit right there.
Drive-through will get the halfway bonus. And so far, he has led every single lap here at Phoenix. And it looks like he's going to put
at New Hampshire.
He's going to put Malin down a lap again. This will be the second time that Malin falls one lap down. The only problem is that there's no Hutchinson to cause caution.
Actually, I think Jamie's going to get the better end of this deal. I believe. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. He's out in turn 4. And Malin gets onto the gas.
Yeah, drive-through will be within Jamie Hunter within the next 20 laps or so, as long as he stays out and we stay green. So a pretty long race here. We'll take a look at the fastest laps. Malin actually has the fastest lap of the race at 27.980. Drive-through with the 28.039. Jamie Hunter with a 28.262. And Drew Hutchinson with a 29.011.
Well, I can guarantee you with this tire wear that those laps were either on the restarts or at the very start of this race. That's when your tires are the best. Probably a little bit like maybe 5 laps in. That's usually when the grip starts to come in. You've got the tires warmed up. Drive-thru's loving this right now, though, all by himself.
Yeah.
Just focused on not making any mistakes, looking at his gauges, looking at the fuel situation, just making sure everything is perfect.
And he's got 50 laps to go.
You know, that pitting might have been advantageous to Tyler.
Well, unless Tyler keeps overdriving it with the shifting, that definitely hurt him. And that's the second time that he's looped it around almost. Shifting, try to pass the 77. So,
well, if Tyler just keeps it the way it is right now, he might be able to get away with it.
I think it'll be close for sure. But
Drive-through is about 2 sets of turns away from Jamie Hunter here.
yeah, like I said, I think he'll get to Jamie Hunter, but not for a while. Unless he comes to pit road, and that'll really throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, as he enters turn 1, Jamie was just right through the middle of turn 2, so. Drive-through's got him in his sights.
Oh, Jamie Hunter was up by the wall. And
he might be just waiting for the 77
He really went up
to
by
come
the wall in turn 3, and that allowed drive-through to really close the gap. So drive-through will be there quicker than what we were originally thinking.
Maybe Hunter's trying to save some fuel right here.
Well, it's possible.
Because he's definitely running slower than all these guys. Look at this. Thumbs up on him.
And Hunter pulls to the inside. Let's drive-through go. And that will put Hunter 2 laps down again. That's for the second time this race. Before the caution came out.
And actually, before they got back to the line, as they were racing back, drive-through slowed down to let Jamie get his lap back. So
which is why he was only 1 down for now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So drive-through right now, like I said, he's just looking through everything, just making sure everything is fine. His water temps are fine. Right now, he's probably making a strategy in his mind, thinking about what lap exactly he wants to go in, whether or not he wants to really push it, or maybe go a few laps early, try to be safe. Because he knows
somebody
that
squeal their tires. I believe it was the 7. He's on pit road now.
Yeah.
So he's fallen 3 laps down.
Well, if you consider that it was only about less than 10 laps ago that Tyler went down on the pit road, he might be able to make it to the end with what he's got, if he's able to conserve.
Yeah. I'm sure Talladega will be a little more interesting than this, just watching one car go around the racetrack again with at least 1 lap ahead of the rest of the field.
We've still got plenty of racing to go. This could very well all change here.
But Mallon is actually catching drive-through, it looks like. Tyler Mallon just entered turn 3. Drive-through was in the center of turn 3, so Mallon is closing that gap.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. They're about a straightaway apart.
If Mallon is able to unlap himself before drive-through comes onto pit road, that could give Tyler the lead.
But you know what that means, right?
But if drive-through
Tyler could be overdriving his stuff right here.
Well, and if he's not, if drive-through pits after Tyler passes him, that gives drive-through the fresher tires to catch Tyler. So I don't know how Tyler's going to be able to win this thing.
I just don't know if the fuel window permits him to go the rest of the way. He's just got to worry about his tires.
Yep.
Unless he's really able to run this track better than drive-through is running it right now. I mean, you could also consider the fact that maybe drive-through is conserving himself. So he could be running slower than he could be right now. But looking at the miles per hour as he's going through these corners, it's still pretty typical of what he was running on the restarts. So I don't
40
know.
laps to go here in Phoenix. We're winding down towards the end of this deal, and drive-through has led all 71 laps here at Phoenix.
But will he lead the last one?
That's the only one that
the
matters.
real factor here. That's the money lap. The bell lap, whatever you want to call it.
Second on that would be the halfway bonus with this league, since that's the only place that it exists. Once again, of course, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ARL 2006, the ARCA Series, is on race number 5 of its schedule. They head to North Carolina Speedway in Rockingham. That looks to be a fun one. Not sure how we're going to do that one, but we'll be here for the coverage nonetheless. And then Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, that is ORL. And Season 2, that will be at Richmond. And here comes drive-through to pit road. And Malin's going to pit at the same time. Whoa!
What was that?
Malin stays out. If he would have turned in, he would have hit the tire wall.
I was really concerned.
So, drive-through comes into pit, and that means that Tyler Malin should come around and take the race lead.
Possibly. Drive-through is to his pit box now. Yes. I don't think that Tyler has enough to lap him, though.
Oh, no, definitely not. Tyler's in turn 1. So there's the pass for the lead. Tyler Malin is your new leader. And for the first time all day, somebody other than the Canadian is out in front of the field.
And will lead a lap. If he just doesn't overdrive himself now, he'll be good.
First career NMRC start. First career lap led in NMRC, and it comes here at Phoenix.
Can you imagine getting your first career win in your first ever start?
Something special, something that not a lot of people have done in many leagues.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, I was able to do that in a league, Rubbin and Racing Motorsports, and I did it on fuel strategy, much like what this is turned out to be. So I mean, it is very possible. And Tyler, with his talent, it's very possible that he can do that. But that'd be pretty unusual to see.
My first ever NR start, I won. Of course, it was at Daytona in a crappy league nonetheless, but it was still a win.
Yeah.
Of course, I've seldom win since then because I've met drivers with talent and met leagues with actual talent.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Salem was close. But
those wins are few and far between.
Yes.
Whoa! What is this?
Malin is in the grass. He's gonna hit the wall.
What
he
happened?
does hit the wall. I think he shifted, and it's gonna bring out the caution. Yes.
Yep, caution is out. Well, this changes everything. He didn't hit the wall too hard. I don't see any damage.
Takes the lead, and now drive-through takes it back for the caution flag.
That was not a shifting error. He just went through the grass.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened. This is coming off of turn number 2. Is where it all started. And he was in 4th gear, and he just overshot the dog leg, turned the wheel too hard. And he got into the grass and just lost the car. And then locked up the brakes and spun it around. Nosed into the inside wall, and that is a penalty.
Really?
An intentional yellow flag. Spin gate part 3. Spin gate in NMRC. So
What?
Malin purposely spun and brought out the caution.
You know what? He probably looked at his fuel, realized that he wasn't going to make it, and was like, I've got to do something.
That, or he wanted to bunch up the field. That will put the 7, I believe, on the lead lap. I believe he will get the lucky dog, but I don't know what kind of penalty will be coming in Mr. Mallon's direction for purposely bringing out the caution flag. You put him at the end of the field, he's still in third spot on the racetrack. So I could see a lap penalty going his direction here.
We're gonna look for word.
Unbelievable. Now, I made the fatal mistake in ORL Season 1 of throwing a debris caution.
But this is just a whole nother level.
I was yelled at for that big time. And learn never to do that again. Now, this I'm not so sure about.
You can kind of make excuses for debris cautions, but this you can't really.
Yeah. So interesting to say the least.
So the first ORN broadcast, and you all are seeing controversy at its finest.
Of course it is. All right. Well.
Well. Tyler,
Mallon currently still in second. I don't know what his penalty will entail. And Jamie Hunter has fallen 2 laps down again. I'm not sure what's up with that.
Well, he will be getting one of those back, at least, for the lucky dog.
Yeah, I would think, yeah. Since he was the only other car a lap down. Now, could Mallon have done this to try and bunch up the field in an attempt to get a close finish, since they should be on fuel?
That is true.
Officiating says that Hunter was 2 laps down, so he will be 1 lap down here on the restart. As we are now 30 laps away from the finish this time by. And don't call me crazy, but the lights have gone out on the pace car, so we'll go green with 29 laps to go.
Well, another thing to consider is that we only have 2 cars who are in contention to win this at the moment. We have 3 cars on track, but we have 2 that are in contention to win if the white flag were to come out right now. Will any penalties to Tyler necessarily affect his chances at winning?
Perhaps not. They could be post-race penalties. We won't know until the stream ends, and then we'll be able to tell you next week when hopefully we get the point situation figured out, and we'll be able to put it on stream.
Yes.
Streamlabs. Anyways, field is through 3 and 4. The lights are still out on the pace car, so we will go green this time by, and Jimmy Hunter will be 1 lap down. He will get the free pass. Pace car makes the hard left turn onto pit road, and drive-through will lead them back up through the gears. And here is the green flag. We're back underway. And they're off to turn 1.
We should see 7 go. Just 1 lap down. Here next time. So I don't see anything that really penalized the 0-8, so it must be post-race penalties, from what I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still 2-car battle. 7 is still shown as 2 laps down.
Oh, that's a scoring error. They'll fix that sooner or later. Meanwhile, drive-through still stays out in front. It's about the same song and dance as earlier between him and Mallon up at the front.
Oh, I don't like that.
Mallon got a little sideways, now being a little more edgy. Sideways off at 4.
Wow.
Hangs onto the car.
Now we've seen it in IRL races at Phoenix that we've been able to see. Whoa!
Drives it in on the outside.
If you're loose on the inside, might as well find yourself a different line.
Try to pinch him onto the curb. Here's turn 3. And he gives him the spot. New leader, Tyler Mallon.
Did he really give him the spot there?
I think he did, just so he didn't try to overdrive the corner. We'll see what drive-through has for turn 1 this time by.
He's got a front bumper. That's what he's got.
And Mallon slid up the hill. Drive-through's going to get the better run off the corner exit. And here they come down the backstretch.
we could be set for a good finish here. We have the under 1 lap down now. So that scoring error is fixed.
Who's the lap down? What? Oh.
7, yeah.
Wait, no. Malin was given a lap penalty. Malin was penalized 1 lap for bringing out the caution. So drive-through is still your leader, and Tyler Malin is got to go the whole way around the racetrack to try and catch up to the leader for the lead. So drive-through is still out in front. I got it now. Hunter hits the wall coming off of turn 4.
That makes sense, but can Tyler make up a 27 second?
Unless the caution comes out, no. There's no way he's going to get up to the front and have a shot at this win. So it looks like it will be a walk through the park for drive-through the 77 Canadian.
I wouldn't say that.
And Malin just disappeared.
What?
Malin just poofed out of existence. I believe he fell through. You may want to check the chat to be sure, but he's gone.
Nothing yet.
Because he is not on the racetrack anymore. So
he fell through.
Make it a 2-car battle. And drive-through's just got to make it. Closing in on 20 more laps, and he'll get his 5th career win of his NRMC career and on the season, extending that points lead over Huang Do.
Now, I've seen in other leagues where people are able to get back in after they fall out, and they just get everything but 1 lap back. Would they do the same for Tyler? I don't know.
According to the officials, he had to have a Windows update.
Yep, that's a Windows 10 thing right there. Wow.
So yeah, he's done for the night.
You gotta think.
So Tyler Malin's first career start led laps, got a penalty, and now his computer will penalize him the ultimate karma, and he will finish in the third spot tonight.
This is karma at work. That's all I can say.
It's the ORN 20 to go, and drive-through has led all but every single lap here at Phoenix, and it looks like he's going to come away with win number 5. Unless the caution comes out and Hunter gets back on the lead lap and boots him out of the way for the win. Otherwise, this race is history.
Man, that's crazy. I was not expecting that sort of outcome.
You know what they say about karma, so Tyler Malin is out of this race now, pretty much.
Nope, he's back. He's back on the track. But
he is?
He got him. Yeah.
Oh, he is. I don't know how on earth he'd fix that, but that was
still
the fastest,
5 laps down.
That
so
was the fastest Windows update I've ever seen in my life.
He'll keep his deficit though. Nothing has changed on that front.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about. So he will stay in the 3rd spot. It looks like for the finish of this.
Wow.
And drive-through will just have a walk in the park. He could probably get out and walk the rest of this race and still take the checkered flag first. That's how far ahead he is of everybody. Oh, they gave Malin his laps back. So he's now 2 laps down from the leader. So still in 3rd spot. He's still got to make up 1 full lap to get 2nd spot away. Taking a look at the fastest speeds, drive-through and Tyler have both gotten under the 28-second bracket. Tyler with a 27.874, drive-through with a 27.970.
Now,
and Malin is now 1 lap down again.
Drive-through right now is coming off of 4. Jamie is going through turn 3 and 4 now. What happens if something happens to drive-through?
And Malin is in turn 4, coming off of 4. And Hunter's going into turn 1, so it's not over. Tyler Malin still could get 2nd.
But you gotta think, with these guys close enough to drive through, if something happens to him, and the caution were not to come out, because these are automatic cautions, what happens to the second and third spot.
Not sure. 15 laps to go.
So Tyler gets everything but 1 lap back. So it's going to be a fight between second and third pretty much.
2 cautions on the day. One for Drew Hutchinson hitting the wall
Jamie
hard.
Got real loose
and
into the
Jimmy
wall.
Hunter's up in the wall in turn 4. We stay green. 1 caution for Drew Hutchinson banging the inside wall hard headed into turn number 3. He retired from the event. That was by lap 30. And then Malin purposely bringing out the caution about 15 laps ago by going through the grass on the back straightaway and spinning out. He nosed it into the inside wall. And he was leading at the time as Hunter continues to slide through turn 3 and drive-through continues to pull away.
And Tyler is caught up to the 7. Might be a matter of time before he passes him and regains second. But we still have the possibility of a caution coming out. We're nearing the last 10 laps of this race. Just a little over.
Yeah, we'll be 12 to go this time by.
Yep.
And Malin is catching Jamie Hunter. So it looks like Malin might be able to get away with second spot here after all.
If he can pass him. Drive through out in front. Coming to... $11 to go.
Malin still closing in that gap. We'll follow the battle for second since it's literally the only one on the racetrack.
Here he comes. Oh! It's good, but he's still got to run. Look at that.
Malin to the outside.
Jamie tries to defend. Can't do it. Around the outside. The preferred line for the 7. Whoa! Boy. They make contact.
Malin takes second away.
Wow. What was that? I don't believe that there's going to be any competition.
Oh, Malin's up in the wall.
What? And now to the inside once again. Breaks a little early. Yeah. And the 08 drives away with it. I believe this is 8 to go for drive-through.
Yep.
He can pretty much, maybe not coast, but he's I bet he's feeling pretty assured right now.
I think it's pretty safe to say the championship battle is over.
It's going to take a lot for Huang to make up the deficit.
Yep.
Here's their turns 3 and 4. Six to go. So Tyler Malin, after his controversy, got a penalty, had a Windows update, and went all those laps down, got all but 1 back after coming back in, and now he's in second spot still. That is pretty significant points. That's, if I remember correctly, 240 points.
I mean, how ironic is that with the sponsor of Intel on the car?
Whoa!
And drive-through got a little sideways through 3 and 4. I think he's kind of stopped carrying as he hits the wall. 4 to go.
He could probably blow up right now and still be good.
Yeah, pretty much. Three more.
Well, it was a pretty clean race for drive-through. I mean, the side is bashed in from the last couple of laps here, but
I think Jamie Hunter looped it around. He's now 2 laps down. Oh yeah, Jamie Hunter is right front tire down. Turn 1.
we stay green. He's in the wall a lot.
2 to go.
Sure hope that he can get to pit road here.
Or get off the track or something. Here comes Malin.
Whoa!
Just eating it into the wall.
Man.
And Hunter will get to pit road. And I think Malin's just hitting the wall and everything in sight now. And here comes drive-through.
Sees the white flag.
1 lap to go. Here at Phoenix. He's dominated this whole race, led the most laps, got the halfway bonus, started on pole, and he's just been up front all day long. Couldn't be out-strategized. The cautions fell his way. Everything has gone his way here this weekend in Phoenix. And win number 5. Drive-through wins at Phoenix.
Maybe not the exciting finish we were hoping for this first broadcast, but
Still plenty of time.
well, we'll see if we can get an interview with the man of the hour drive-through. Seems like this month is really going his way. He got his monetization back on YouTube. Won in an offline test race just yesterday for our broadcasts. And now here he is going to victory lane at Phoenix International Raceway.
The caution is out. Oh, we've got a big crash in turn 4. Malin's upside down rolling. Him and Hunter got together. Of course, meanwhile, drive-through's going to John force it down the front stretch.
It's actually pretty impressive. Not a lot of people can do that pretty consistently, so. I guess with those worn out tires, it's possible. He's just going to keep on doing it, isn't he? Going to try to do a Polish victory lap too. Just going to do every sort of NASCAR victory lap cliche.
Next, he's going to get out and do a backflip.
Yep. And he's going to do the Jamie McMurray celebratory cry in victory lane. Stops at the line.
To pick up the yellow flag.
It's a flag nonetheless. And he's going to do another one. You can't blame him for being happy, you know?
Not at all.
What's that? And the 7 is doing donuts outside of the racing surf. Okay.
Love it. All right. Oh, yeah, I see him back there.
Well, he comes into victory lane.
Victory lane. Let's bring him in. I guess you're going to make me do that, huh?
Sure.
Okay. And I can't move him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Again, the growing pains of ORN. Nothing works for us. Well, either way, great win for Drive-Thru, his 5th of this season. What a dominating performance this entire NMRC season for him.
And here he is. So how about that? Win number 5 on the year. You extend your points lead. Take us through how you're able to out-strategize Malin there towards the end.
Did it without dumping someone for it too, eh? Jeez, what a race. It was a fun one. It was a long one. 110 laps out here. Malin certainly made the first half of that thing difficult. And I think he made some mistakes out there. I think he had to pit early. He burned out the tires. I kept them clean and calculated it to the end. Suddenly there's a caution coming out. Apparently there's some controversy there. I don't want to get into it, but it's good to get number 5. It's been quite a season for this team.
So now we were told that Malin was shifting out on the racetrack. Were you doing any of the shifting, or were you just staying in 4th gear the whole way around the racetrack?
I didn't shift once, apart from the restarts. I mean, it's kind of this risk versus reward thing, you know. And you see how it went for Malin, and you see how it went for Hunter at the end. It's just not worth it, and it's putting a lot of strain on the gearbox. It's putting a lot of strain on. I mean, if you screw it up just a little bit, you're going sideways. You're in the wall. So slow and steady. Well, actually, it was pretty quick and steady.
Anything for you, Jimmy?
No, that was a very, very good dominating performance there.
Thank you.
But yeah, very good win.
That's the 77 Drive-Thru. We'll see him tomorrow, or as we know him best, Davin Cornway, for ARL. Rockingham.
I think I'll be there for that.
I hope so.
Thanks.
All right, well, that is your winner today, Drive-Thru. And I can't move you back to the driver's chat, so just hop on back in there. Sorry about that. All right, so yeah, that will just about do it here from Phoenix. Final thoughts, Jimmy?
It's the perfect first race for ORN. We had some mistakes on our end, and then the driver mistakes on the racetrack. Controversy-filled race. It could have gone any weirder for the first race, but I'm excited to see where ORN goes from here. We've still got a lot of stuff to work out, but overall, not a bad first broadcast on our end, and a pretty good race, definitely for Drive-Thru. But everybody else seemed to be, they seem to enjoy the race, so hopefully we can keep on making all this content, and we'll be able to see the championship battle or lack thereof for NMRC. And we've got plenty more content coming out your way, so please stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. We will see you again tomorrow for ARL 2006 from North Carolina, Rockingham. From all of us and Jimmy Powell III, I'm Jacob Hitz. This has been an official broadcast of ORN, the Online Racing Network, and NMRC. We'll see you next week at Talladega. Good night.